Our webinar today is entitled SAP Rapid Deployment Solutions for PLM and PPM. This webinar will present the SAP Rapid Deployment Solution strategy and the current offerings within the SAP PLM and SAP PPM solution areas. SAP Rapid Deployment Solution offer affordable, scalable packages and combine pre-configured software and implementation services to get you up and running in a matter of weeks. My name is Ralph Davis, Marketing Manager at LeverX, and I will be the moderator for today's webinar. Before we begin our topic, let me briefly introduce you to LeverX. LeverX helps companies increase business value by leveraging existing investments in SAP solutions. LeverX is an SAP value-added reseller and an SAP services partner, and an associate member of the PLM Alliance. LeverX delivers strategic, functional, and technical services in the areas of SAP Product Lifecycle Management, Portfolio and Project Management, and related solutions. We also offer SAP solutions including services for business, process, and strategic consulting, solution architecture development, implementation planning and execution, application management support through on-site and remote delivery models. In addition, LeverX provides services for SAP mobile application strategy, development, and implementation, as well as a broad set of SAP technologies including SAP NetWeaver, Workflow, Business Warehouse, and Business Objects. We are pleased to introduce our presenters for today's webinar. First of all, Peter Demchenko, PLM Architect and PDM Practice Manager from SAP America. Also joining us will be Eric Stada, Director of PLM Consulting Practice at LeverX. Our webinar agenda will proceed as outlined. First of all, Pete will take us through a discussion on the SAP Rapid Deployment Solution strategy, as well as the offerings for both SAP PLM and SAP PPM. And then Eric will take us through a discussion and a demonstration of the SAP Rapid Deployment Solution delivery model. And then if we have time, we will take questions from those of you in the webinar and answer as many of those as time allows.
Hi, my name is Eric Steida. I'm the PLM Practice Lead at LeverX. Just let me get a second here to get my system set up. There we go. Hopefully you're seeing my screen here. Okay. So what I wanted to talk to a little bit today was an example usage of the RDSs at a customer. So it's sort of an example scenario on how they use the RDSs and what the kind of the process was, what the benefits they achieved out of it. So to give you an idea how customers are taking a look at this. So the customer here we're talking about was a company in the life sciences area, and they wanted to implement SAP PLM into one of their divisions. So it was initial kind of startup project where they wanted to get SAP PLM up and running with a small group and then expand into a larger group after they had some success. As with many companies, they have a lot of resources that had a good deal of experience in the PLM area, but they had little experience, let's say, in the SAP PLM area. So great PLM background, but they didn't know a whole lot about SAP PLM. With not having the knowledge, they had a pretty difficult time judging what's going to be the effort to implement, what type of resources do we need, how much is this going to cost, does it fit our requirements, all the kind of basic questions they needed to try to answer before they actually jumped into this large, type of multi-phased type project. So the first thing they wanted to make sure that, they got some knowledge, they can make their assessment and judgment better. And then they wanted to make sure that, before they moved ahead with a very large project, that SAP PLM would fit their business needs, with a project. Additionally, they wanted a solution. They needed to do it quickly. So they wanted to, business was good, and they wanted to implement, a solution quickly, and they wanted to make decisions quickly so they could get this up and going. Okay. So what they did was they took a couple of these RDS solutions to build up a system with the latest SAP PLM tools. So they took a system that they had, implemented, got it up and running, took the RDS capabilities to get this implemented, and I'll talk about the layering, and as Pete had mentioned, sort of the layering of the RDS is to meet their requirements. So, and as mentioned in the first slide, it's got to be quick. So project can last no longer than 8 weeks. And really what they wanted to see from the RDS, some of these foundational RDS, is that really basically in a short period of time they could see 60 to 70% or more of their total requirements that they had in the system in a quick time, and see it live in a system. Okay, and the customer here, they would provide some initial resources, to have some requirements, but the consultants are in this case provided really kind of best practice knowledge for process and implementation. So there wasn't a lot of, let's say, process evaluation. It was kind of a view of looking at what does SAP PLM do from a best practice standpoint, and the consultants were able to guide that. From a functionality standpoint, they wanted to look at a basic set of capabilities in SAP PLM. So really kind of management of key engineering documents with a simple release process, review of tools around the engineering change management side, look at the BOM and material management from the engineering perspective and how it related to the manufacturing side, look at the visualization of the CAD data, and then also have a nice view of what the system looks like for the common users. They want to have basic searching and display of key data. They also want to understand what type of workflow was going to be available. How to workflow enable the processes, and so they wanted to look at the workflow via the process routes, and then understand how to secure the data. So look at the kind of the concepts of the access control management. So really just taking a look at all the basic kind of SAP PLM capabilities out there and getting a good grasp of what they are, what they offer, and what's available. Okay. In order to achieve this, they looked at as two of the RDSs. One was the PLM for discrete foundational RDS, and as Pete mentioned, it's sort of the foundational RDS that's delivered in order to get you up and running on the basic PLM web UI. So that's turning on all the switches, getting the infrastructure set up so that you can actually just start utilizing the SAP PLM tools. Okay. The second was they wanted to look at the visualization aspects. They actually looked at the Visual Enterprise RDS, and this was getting taking the CAD data, converting it, and then looking at some of the aspects around the authoring side, or how you utilize that visualization data after once it's generated. Okay. So the timeline, just to give you an idea of the timeline around this project. So to give you a flavor how it flows, first it was an 8-week kind of project in total. So first week or two is, you're kind of doing your initial meeting and you're discussing the process, your goals, reviewing base requirements, infrastructure plan, all those types of things. And then week 3 through 6, kind of call it building up your systems based on standard WBS and delivered accelerators. And that's where really the key comes in here, because what SAP providing is really a concrete project plan to get you through the project. So there's a delivered work breakdown structure, there's delivered accelerators, and all the documentation that you need to be successful in the project. So everything is there. So the week 3 through 6, we're building up the foundational elements for like the web UI and the visualization. So this includes the things like Trex, turning on the switch framework, getting security roles set up so you can log in, setting up Visual Enterprise Generator if you're selecting the Visual Enterprise RDS, getting all the foundational elements in place, infrastructure components, etc.